Yo guys, how's it going? Mad Guys here, and this video we are discussing the two new weapons which will be coming to Black Ops 3 Zombies in the very near future. Now, if you do not know what these weapons are, that is the M1911 pistol, the Colt pistol, and the AK74u submachine gun. Now, these were originally in the games all the way through from Black Ops 1 to Black Ops 2, and everybody loved them. Everybody loved starting up Black Ops or Black Ops 2 and getting the starting pistol as the M1911 pistol. And we also had the AK74u on a lot of wall buys throughout the maps across the zombie catalogue. Now, recently we received these weapons in Black Ops 3. Now, what you're probably thinking is, wow, we got these weapons in Black Ops 3. Yeah, we did not get these for zombie mode at all. We got these exclusively for multiplayer, and we'll touch on that in a little bit in the further down the line in this video because I've got some opinions I would like to cast on that. But yes, we got these in multiplayer. We did not get these in the zombie mode, which sucks really because they are zombie weapons. I know. You could use them in multiplayer and stuff like that, but you got to get them from supply drops, which is another thing I just, But yes, they are not in zombies as of yet. Now, if you've been watching closely to the ZOMBROZ channel, which is Rad Austin and the ZOMBROZ podcast, and Johnny J25, and Noah J456, they did two separate interviews with Jason Blundell recently over the past weekend, and we found out some new information about these weapons. And that is the fact that these weapons are going to be coming to zombies. I think it's meaning Zombie Chronicles. They're going to be coming to the Zombie Chronicles maps just to give us that old classic feel in the near future. I think it's going to be within a week or two after the Zombie Chronicles release for the Xbox One and PC. And that will give us the authentic zombie feel. It really will. Imagine launching into the old classic maps on Zombie Chronicles with the M1911 pistol. M1911 pistol. How awesome will that be? And I know a lot of people saying, well, guys, they won't give us the starting pistol change. They won't change the MR6 to the Colt. They won't do that. Well, what other possible reason would they have for sticking in the pistol into zombies unless they're going to give it as a starting weapon? They're not going to stick it in the box. What would be the point of sticking it in the box? You wouldn't go to the box and get a pistol out of the box. That just doesn't happen in Black Ops 3. So yes, that is what I think is going to happen with the M1911 pistol. And we are going to start playing the maps with that once it drops. Now, a lot of people are saying they can't do that. They can't just change something like that. Yes, they can. It's such an easy process to implement. It's simply a line of code that specifies which starting weapon you start your maps with, and that is pretty much it. It would take them minutes to implement that into the game. Now on to the AK74u. That is coming back. Yes, this is coming back. Like I say, you can go watch the podcast that Jason Blundell did with NoJ456 and the ZOMBROZ. I'll leave links in the description down below and you can get this information. He does state that these weapons are coming back into Black Ops 3. So what I'm thinking is now, we have the AK47u coming into Black Ops 3. It will be in the box, of course it will be in the box, but in certain maps, there used to be the AK74u wall buy on the wall in certain areas. That was replaced. That was replaced, especially in Kino, in the alleyway outside. You had the AK74u wall buy, and that was replaced with the VMP. Now, a lot of people were pissed off about this, thinking, well, why? Why replace it with such an iconic weapon to a weapon that is kind of average in Black Ops 3, you know? Especially considering we're going for the classic feel. But now we have the weapons coming back into the game. I believe they will re-inject them into the maps. They will change the wall buys to suit. So the VMP wall buy in the alleyway in Kino should hopefully get changed to the AK74u. Now, like I said before about adding the M1911 pistol as a starting weapon, it is not that hard of a task to do. Simply all they would do is just change a few KVPs or like settings inside of the map files and stuff like that for the wall buys. They would just change a few of those and boom, you would get the AK74u on the wall inside of Kino, inside the alley of Kino. And if they wanted to do that for further maps, the different maps like what use the AK74u wall buys, they could simply do that as well. And that leads me on to another question, which I hope they can fix, and I hope they can answer. In Kino, we have the MP40 wall buy near Speedcaller in the little circular room with the turret gun on the table. Originally, we had the MP40. Now in Zombie Chronicles, it has changed to the Cuda. Not that I hate the Kuda, I do like the Kuda as a weapon, but we have the MP40 in the box. Why not stick it on the wall? Maybe this new update will also fix that. Maybe they will just not fix it. I don't know. Maybe I think they should put the MP40 in the wall in Kino. They've got it on one of the wall buys in Origins. Granted, the other two places in Origins, it's replaced with the KN44 and the VMP respectively. But in Kino, they should add in the MP40 wall buy. And if any other map has the MP40 wall buy on there that I've missed out, then they should definitely re-add that back in and remove the Kuda from the wall buy. Because I think it just does not fit. If you want to go with the classic vibe of the old school zombies by adding in the Colt pistol and the AK74u, why not just bring back the MP40 on the wall? I know it's in the box, but why not just bring it back, put it on the wall, and make everybody happy? Simple as that, isn't it, guys? It sounds so simple, and it really, really is simple to re-implement these weapons into the maps. Right, so on to the next thing I wanted to discuss. In the podcast that Jason Blundell did with the ZOMBROZ and NoJ456, he mentioned about the time constraints of adding in the M1911 pistol and the AK74u. Yes, I know it is a time-consuming, important weapons and creating these weapons for use in zombies, but they are a massive team. Now, I have seen people over in the modern community make weapons and release weapons and put them in the maps in the space of a couple of days, hours even. How can they not put these weapons into Zombie Chronicles? How could they have not had them ready for Zombie Chronicles? They would have known about Zombie Chronicles for at least a few months. Surely they had the time then to do it. I honestly do not believe that that's the case. I'm not hating on Jason Blundell or Treyarch team or anything like that, but I do not believe that they were under any time constraints when adding these weapons into Zombie Chronicles. My personal belief is they were told, put them into multiplayer first, allow people to buy them from supply drops, get us some profit and some revenue from this, and then we will consider adding them into Zombie Chronicles. Because they knew the zombie universe would have went absolutely batshit crazy to get these weapons put into your beloved zombie maps. So why wouldn't they have done that from the off? It is purely down to money. But that's just my personal speculations on this, but I honestly believe that is why they did this, because I know from personal experience that porting weapons and adding in weapons into games does not take months on end. If you want to get them super perfect and be absolutely amazing, then that would, tops, it would take a couple of weeks if you got people dedicated to do that. I do believe it was all money based, and sticking them into the supply drops for multiplayer first to give us a bit of a teaser was exactly how they wanted to work things, and that would mean a bigger cash cow for them to beat. So they would get more money, and then the zombie universe would be like, oh shit, we know there's weapons into our maps, and then eventually they would sort of feed us them and make them think that they were giving us something even better by giving us these new weapons later on down the line, and then they'll go on the excuse saying it was time constraints and stuff like that. I don't believe it, but I am happy that they are putting them in there. I don't believe it was time constraint. I just believe it was all purely money based. It seems Activision is that way inclined right now, but that's just my personal opinion, but you don't have to agree with that if you don't want to. But I'm still hyped for the M1911 pistol and the AK74 submachine gun coming into Black Ops 3 Zombie Chronicles, which releases this Thursday, by the way, for Xbox One and PC. We should see these weapons be put into the maps the following week, or maybe 2 weeks later than that, we shall see. But once again, I cannot wait for that. Let's see if they do change the wall buys in the maps as well, especially the AK74 wall buys. Maybe they will change the MP4 wall buys. Who knows? But they definitely will be changing the starting pistol to the M1911. Otherwise, it would be kind of redundant to put it in the mystery box. But there we go, guys. That is today's video. That is my viewpoints and letting you know exactly what is going to be happening, what I think is going to be happening in the next few weeks regarding Zombie Chronicles and in the new weapons. If you are new to the channel, please hit that like button and subscribe. Comment down below what you think, and I shall see you guys later.